dick.
We are live. All right. Welcome to 7 Sessions, episode number, is it 5?
I think it's 4. 4 between you and I.
4 and 5.
Because remember you did that one with Connor that doesn't count.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Because it sucked.
Yeah, you're out of here, Connor.
Hi, Connor.
Thank you guys so much for attending, listening, whatever term we want to use is pour some tea real fast.
Let's pour some tea.
And today, what I want to start off with is the topic. Then I think what we're going to do for some fun is also check out kind of some news that's happening. I saw something really interesting about job growth. So for those of you saying, oh my God, they're firing all the programmers, turns out that's not true. Mazel tov.
It means congratulations.
For those of you who don't know, we're drinking.
You don't say mazel tov when you cheers fucking tea.
It's every
say
single time. Say
salute or something.
So I just got off right before this call started with my people from Valuetainment. Shout out to Leo and Taylor. We need to cut this, Nathan Charles, so we can, in terms of like using it for social, and give a shout out to them. It was really interesting, right? So once I started Devslopes for the academy, it really came in about 3 years ago. You know, I was myself, right? Like unauthentically myself. And Wes, if you're dying, feel free to just go downstairs, bro. I'm looking at Wes right now, who looks like he's in the process of dying, bro. You just need to go lay down, go take a nap.
Just a tip for those of you watching at home: don't get Brussels sprouts at Smash Burger.
For real, homeboy's
and then
been
also,
dying.
friends don't buy friends Smash Burger.
Yeah, I fucked up on that one.
It's okay, we forgive you.
So
well, I don't know if he does. I do.
So one of the cool things that they were talking about was one of the problems I faced.
Bye, Wes.
Is that as I brought in executives and different team members, you know, the marketing team took on, I feel like, my personality. You can give like a good example of this, but like I feel like Connor, you, Nick Sorrell, like everybody gives off my vibe. So for context, I can be very intense when addressing things, right? Like I can be very intense. I think it's mostly because for so long when I was running kind of advertising teams, I would like when there was a problem, I had to dissect down to figure out where was the data that's showing what is going on. Where's the data that shows where we can get specific segments that we could target and get like disproportionate returns on it.
Right.
And so it's very like matter of fact. Let's break it apart. Let's find it. Just like in jiu-jitsu. Why am I getting beat in this position? Break it down, figure it out. So it's not from like an angry position. I'm not angry at you, right? And you guys kind of had to learn that. But it's also this unrelenting drive to figure out how to improve. Like it's improve at all costs. I created everybody's comp structure to do that. Like I've been more than willing to pay y'all more on like how many fucking promotions have you had? Like
I'd rather not get into specifics for tax season.
I don't even know, but you've had a lot of promotions. Point being,
I am now vice president of everything. That's my current title.
And it's interesting. One of the things that we talked about was, over the past, since March of last year, I think I've moved a lot away from my natural nature, right? So like I have a very natural nature of being very high energy and aggressive a little bit. It's been good because I've learned how to be a lot more empathetic. Like, guys, I can go from being in this mode to also having a very deep conversation about trauma and stuff like that. Couldn't previously do that. A little bit too aggressive. Very aggressive. Yeah. And so now I'm getting to this point to where I'm realizing, the culture of Devslopes is set by me. I have to move back to that. And I think there's a really beautiful message in that. And we talked about this, like when you start breaking status quo, those around you are not going to like it. And I feel like that's the first path of when we start that path to mastery, that's when we start becoming who we are. We start experiencing and feeling new emotions. We start feeling like we're kind of becoming who we're supposed to be, right? And I feel like since then, I've really stepped away. And I feel like this past 6 weeks has kind of been moving back into that, right? I've been very low energy. I'm getting back into a high energy state. I haven't been in that for a very long time. Right? This is the first time I've really been excited. It's kind of scary, right? Because there's a lot of people in the company who don't know me, right? And they might be really turned off by the idea of me. They might end up leaving. There's a real chance of that. But also, what I realized, it's about finding the individuals who are going to support you. So I think this ties back to is a lot of people listening to this are going to feel like I need to not be who I am. I need to change who I am so that people want to hire me. I need to do whatever it is, right? And I love this idea of own who you are. And there are going to be companies, hiring managers, things along those lines who are going to love you. Right. So like if you are an extreme left-leaning person, or if you're like a Democrat, working at Black Rifle Coffee Company is not going to be your place, right? Like that's not going to be your people.
You have to have some awareness as to where you fit.
Exactly. And I'm naturally like a much higher energy person. Additionally, though, dude, anybody that joins my camp, that joins my bandwagon, they get better lives. Every single person. Mm-hmm. I'm a unique personality. I get that. I can be a little overwhelming. I can be very I could come off as a dick a lot. But dude, I just want people to improve as much as possible.
Right.
And I really mean that. Like,
well, what is it? Let's get into some shit here. What is it? Hold on a second. Whoever fucked with my mic last time, may you rot. But what does it mean to like buy into a company culture? Because I think a lot of that is like, it's not about changing who you are, but it is about dedicating yourself to everything that's happening and to the work that you're doing. And do you think that's something that when you bring people on, or like you're interviewing people, like prospective employees, that you find like, I don't really know if this person's going to buy in? Because a lot of people are so used to the 9-to-5 workday. You know what I mean? And like there's shit, like I'll give you a perfect example. Girlfriend left last night at 9:30 after I cried because she was gone. Worked on some videos. And that's the thing. Sometimes you are going to have to come over on a Saturday. Sometimes you're going to have to put in some hours after 5. Netflix or Xbox or whatever system you prefer might have to wait a little bit. But do you find that most people are willing to buy in like that? Or is that something that, you have to coach in people or develop in them? Or
it's funny. I think that's one of the reasons that turned me on the most, like you and Connor, both of you. So for y'all to give context, so yeah, y'all understand the relationships I have with Bruce and Connor and Jack. Dude, if I ever call y'all always answer, right? Yep. And if you don't answer, it's for something reasonable. Bruce, after I had the divorce last year, I was really worried living alone because of my seizures. And Bruce, I called him one night, and it was on Do Not Disturb, and it didn't go through, and I was worried I was going to have one. Then I told him about that, and he was like, dude, I got you. Then he made it to where anytime I call him, regardless of Do Not Disturb is on or not, it goes through.
Because I hate that fucking Apple alarm noise, so it just sends me. That is, whoever made that noise.
It's terrible.
I don't know what the fuck that, Germans could have used them back in the day.
But it means so much to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the hires I make, I'm looking for attitude. People of high character, people that want better things for themselves. That's not going to be everybody. In fact, we're moving into I see these stupid fucking TikToks.
Yeah.
Where people are like, it is past, actually, there's, I have to be careful who they put. There's a partnership we have with a separate company that helps Devslopes some. And I email them sometimes like, hey, I need help with XYZ. And I can tell this woman hates her job because I get an immediate email saying back, I'm out of office until XYZ. Yeah. Whatever it is, right? I understand the importance of setting some boundaries, but like, dude, we spend a lot of money with them. I don't give a fuck if you're out of office. You should be responding to me. Like, this is non-negotiable. But it's funny, that's become like the new culture where people are like, employers need to respect boundaries and do X, Y, Z, and work is not my life. And the way that I approach it is, if you feel that way, you're probably not where you need to be. And you should probably work on finding a better company to be at, right? Like, I don't have unrealistic demands. Like, I don't call you guys every single day after hours, right? Like, there's just, like, if I do, we're going to chat about jiu-jitsu, something like that. I think, like, we build a pretty solid respect for those things. But, finding people who are doing that, I think it's a personal decision. Is somebody in that state of life? A lot of people aren't, right? And I think the economy, the job market, it's going to be in favor of those who are wildly passionate about what they want to do. They love the challenges of what they do, and they want to attack and be with a company that reflects those same things. I want to go. So a great example is really good developers. They don't want to work. They want to work at apps where they know that they're writing code that's going to change and touch thousands to hundred thousands to millions of people's lives, sometimes billions. That's why some people like working at Google, Facebook, stuff like that. They get to see the impact they have. They could tell somebody, listen, I built this code that you're using right now.
Yeah, the reach is ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's like one of the coolest parts about Devslopes. So when I see employees that don't have the drive I have, right? This isn't your company. I'm not going to expect anybody to treat it the same way, right?
Right.
But I expect people to take ownership of their jobs and love what they do, right?
It's a mentality problem in some ways, because I think like a lot of people that are going to be watching this and wanting to break that glass ceiling and get to higher levels of income, etc., they need to understand that the clock out mindset is not the mindset. And this is a completely different thing. This is like being very invested in what you do, caring genuinely about what you do. This isn't like, oh, my shift's over, I'm out. Because that keeps you at like a certain level at all times. That's why those jobs pay a certain amount. You're not going to become a six-figure earner or whatever financial plateau is, your goal. You're not going to be that. No one's going to give that to you for coming in at 9 to 5 and not putting in a little bit of extra dedication, at the very least.
Well, the 9 to 5, the reason why it's a little bit of nonsense is realistically it's a 4 to 5 hour workday. Everybody's mostly on Facebook. It's funny. Most people choose jobs. One of the books I'm reading is an amazing book, and he talked about most companies bring people in off the idea of you can bring your dog to work here. Mm-hmm. We have sleep pods. We have this. We have that. And
fucking horse shit.
Yeah, those aren't. That's not culture. That's not. You want to go work somewhere that challenges you. Like, actually, a great example of this is there's that famous saying of that after people retire, mm-hmm. they die substantially faster, or their quality of life substantially plummets. And the reason why is they're not doing anything with their time, right? And so when you stop challenging yourself, and this kind of comes back to the path to mastery, I think that as humans, we definitely need times to rest. Like, for me, like my vacations realistically, like 3 days long is like a really good vacation for me. Mm-hmm. I'll be able to stay sane, right? After 3 days, if I'm not listening to audiobooks or kind of having time to myself, I'll start having some problems. And I feel like if we can just get more people to take on that path to mastery, if you live in this ridiculous world where you think you're going to work 9 to 5, be completely financially secure, have the white picket fences, and just go drink your IPAs after work and shit like that, I think the future, the job market, and everything is going to be very, very rough on you.
Because you can't even afford those types of lifestyles on a 9 to 5 now.
No, like I don't think of like I don't think like at all, to be honest. Like it's kind of wild. Like, so for example, we just had I'm looking at Wall Street Journal right now. There's a pretty cool update that just came out. Mm-hmm. It says strong hiring across industries fuels job growth, right? So the U.S. added 517,000 jobs in January, which is good because it snapped a 5-month string of slowing employment growth. Mm-hmm. Kind of, it depends. This isn't technically the truth of what you want. So the nice part about it is we have all these people that are getting jobs, right? And it's my belief that those that are going to be good in a job market, right, when we have the next recession, all of these things, the people that are going to be good are those that are proving their value to a company. They mm-hmm. want to find a company, they want to be loyal to it, and they want to crush it, right? This weird mentality of I'm going wherever I get paid less, the most, and I have to work the least, that's where I want to go. And it's like, guys, they're going to figure it out. Like, there's all these companies that have, like, thousands of developers being fired. I know that Google did it, and Connor made a hilarious joke about it. And they're like, why are coders being fired? And it's like, yeah, you motherfuckers wake up at 11 to 10 a.m., you do nothing. You'll literally have, some people have, like, they'll just walk over their computer, move their mouse a little bit so it stays active on Slack, and that's it, right? And I think
that's a good one. I got to try that.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, I don't modify or like look at who's active on Slack or not. I didn't even know that's like a thing. But man, it's a weird world we're living in right now.
Well, do you think that kind of what you said earlier? Then it's like really important that you find something because we've all worked passionless jobs. I mean, it's hard to be passionate about washing dishes I'm sure there are some people who are, but it's hard to be passionate about certain kinds of jobs. So like, how do people find a company that like really, because work is always going to be a grind.
Yeah.
So how do you find something that you believe in?
I think you look where your interests and skills match. Like what we talked about like 2 episodes ago, potentially, or 3.
Yeah.
Like you look at what are your interests. Do you love jiu-jitsu?
Well, you might not want to go into that if you like money, but
I know
that's a subject for another time.
If you like jiu-jitsu and figuring out that you love photography, try to go work at like Flow Grappling, UFC Fight Pass, like things like that. It's not insane, to be honest. Like, you just got to figure out how to get there. Like, it's, BJJ Fanatics. You can go work for your local gym for fun.
Do you think too many people, like, completely disregard the idea that they can love what they do? That there's a possibility that what they do can, like, for example, like, you know what I really love? I really love music, and I can't play, I can't sing, but I think I'd have a good ear for talent. So how many people do you think take that, and then I'm thinking of someone personally in mind, like how many people take that and then say to themselves, you know what, man, like I want to go work at like a radio situation, like a station, and then maybe intern for a little bit, and then from there maybe host my own little show, and the next thing I know I'm an A&R, and there's paths to all the things that you want to do that coincide with your interests. But I think like we talked about last time with imposter syndrome, I think a lot of these mental blockades that people build up prevent them from thinking that, like, man, I love this, but I can't do that,
So let's play off the example. You love music, you want to get into it, you can't play any instruments, but you just love music as a whole. I think the way you go down that route is like, number one, are you prepared to put in 24 to 36 months of absolute free work? Right? Like,
yeah.
Like, example number one could be volunteering
at
a local place.
You gotta wake your ass up if you're talking to me.
I'm yawning nonstop.
I'm too damn sexy for you to be tired.
I'm gonna ask Wes if he can bring me a monster from the Joe Fest.
Or some cocaine.
We do not endorse cocaine.
Yes, we do.
Vocally at least.
I've never done it actually.
Have you not?
No, but I'll tell you a funny story. I was I had my camera. I was taking a picture of this couple, and they were like calling the typical cokehead behavior. I did not realize this at the time.
Typical cokehead behavior.
But they were calling all these numbers to see if they can get somebody to come over. And I didn't know for what. But then finally they scored someone that was willing to come to their house, and it was like they had won the lottery. I'd never seen such jovial people in my life. The guy showed up, they cut up a little bit of coke on like a little thing, and I'm like, wow. I'm about to watch people do cocaine, and I was all excited. I'm like, is it, so you snort it and you roll up like $1 bill, and they're all like, and I'm like, can I take pictures? And so I took pictures of these people doing coke,
Dude, it's so funny with thinking about like weird experiences that have happened to us like that. I'm trying to think of like the oddest things.
Because I had never seen it before. So I was like,
coke?
Wow.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So the first time I ever saw coke, actually, I was in college with a friend named, I'm not going to say his name. That's not a good idea. He's actually
in jail now. It's okay.
No, yeah. He's actually, dude, he's not. He's crushing it. And I just remember, like.
He's crushing it?
Yeah, literally, he's crushing it. It was so odd because I remember we were going to like a country club, I think, like for two-step dancing. And he just takes off his hat and pulls out bags of coke. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't even drink. And this dude just pulling out lines of coke. And I was like, dude, this is very strange. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I think that's like the only like hard drug I've seen, though. I mean, like, we live in Colorado, so pot, but like.
I had a neighbor get addicted to Molly for about 3 months, and it was like really, really unfortunate. But then,
thank you so much.
But then,
you look so bad, bro. I'm sorry.
The personal Monster Energy liver, West.
Eat smash burgers.
Say it again, Wes. Tell him again.
Fuck smash burgers.
There we go. So my next door neighbor, who I was very close with, grew up with her in the Bronx. She got addicted to Molly for a period of time. And
is it an upper or downer?
Molly's an upper. Molly's like an upper, so kind of a blend of psychedelic and stimulant. I've done it a handful of times at raves. It makes you want to kill yourself when you're done.
Really?
It completely takes away all your serotonin. So like we took a bunch one night, and then like we were walking over this bridge to IHOP, and all of us were just like, we can fucking end it now, just jump over this fucking bridge. Yeah, it's that bad. Anyone who's come down from Molly, you know what I'm talking about. Like you just get like hardcore depression for like about a day or so.
Just because it's so different with your brain
just
chemicals?
Depletes your serotonin to such a crazy extent. So anyway, long story short, she was getting it from these, I think they were Macedonian like drug dealers, and one of them was like a stripper, and she used to give us like bottles of Patron. The Bronx is a crazy place.
It seems like it.
So one day, the guy comes to deliver the Molly, but accidentally gives her a big bag of crack.
Oh my
So
god.
she tells us about this. She's like, hey guys, you guys got to see this. So we all come over. We're taking selfies with the crack, and everything. It was just, it was a good time. I should clarify, none of us actually smoked the crack.
I
that
bet you did
that was
not.
proposed.
That
but
was
it didn't-
proposed.
Yeah.
Should we smoke this
Well,
crack?
we're fucking really like, what's one hit of crack gonna do in a lifetime? I highly.
It's so funny seeing like the polar different stuff from our lifestyles. Like, dude, I grew up in West Texas. Like, I'm sure some people were doing stuff, but like, I did nothing.
I think like the perfect video would be to have a split by split on a screen of like you taking an ATV to wherever you were taking your ATVs to, and then me with
First
that
off,
nonsense.
I call them four-wheelers.
Four-wheelers.
ATVs, you
That's right.
fucking northerner.
When did you ever wear cowboy hats? Was that like a thing?
Not cowboy hats, cowboy boots though. My brother
Really?
has some sick ones. I'll show you a picture of it.
I saw his boots last time. That's kind of how I knew he was in the house. I just saw a big old thing of cowboy boots.
I actually
and I was
like
like,
them, so I think I'm gonna get some actually.
I would wear cowboy boots.
These are sick, bro. Like those are sick.
They are. Maybe in black for me.
You are emo, so it makes
Darker
sense.
color. I'm gonna be an emo cowboy.
An emo cowboy.
My horse is fucking pissed.
All right, so I'm gonna change subject for a second. I got a message from a dude named Omar on Instagram, and he asked me, "Hey, dude, how do you keep your mental health so good?" And he said, "I'm at a point where nothing makes me happy, but when I look around, everybody else seems to enjoy everything." I want to tell you, I want to continue the conversation off this. This is why I responded. I said, "Man, I feel everything just like you do. I just treat life like I'm a survivor." Ironically, it's funny that I said that. This was on Tuesday. Try to move on and not look back. I recorded something yesterday about this that I'll send it over. They never sent it to him. I need to send it over. But
What's his name?
Omar.
Sorry, Omar. We'll get that to you soon.
I know. You know what's funny? Isn't that the truest shit though? We look around fucking social media and everybody's happy.
But it's a facade. Is that what he's saying specifically, social media, or people in his friend group are happy?
It's
and he's
most likely social.
most likely.
I mean, we can extend it out for the sake of this conversation.
I think so too, because I think the internet creates a very unhealthy standard of what life actually is, and especially in this like age of fake it till you make it with everything. I mean, this whole concept of people that are pretending to travel, it's like, what the fuck
don't
do
get
you
me started
get
on
out
it.
of that?
I hate it. Man, I had a long talk with Wes about this. Wes, we're going to talk about the people that travel all the time.
If you're throwing up, it's okay. Take some vitamin C.
We just talked about how there's all these creators who are like going to Mexico and they're like they stay for the cost of the hotel and everything. I'm like, yeah, those people might have like a cool lifestyle now, but dude, when they get in their 40s, they're fucked. They're so far behind.
Yeah.
They never built any skills. They have no cash because everything was just given. Like, we'll credit you this, we'll credit this, and it's like, oh fuck, I am 35 with $2,000 to my name, no real portfolio experience. You're in rough shoes, bro.
Hey, all you white girls that are going to Costa Rica this summer, listen up.
Bro, if that's not the truest thing in the world. You know, so it's funny. You want to know a weird problem I have? This is going to seem so ridiculous.
Excuse me.
Ever since I first started, like, I just assume everybody almost has what I have. It seems really odd. So like, even though I've started making like good money, I still feel like everybody has more money than me. Literally everybody. And it's such an odd feeling, and I think it's probably part of this, like everybody wants like newest vehicles.
Yeah.
Even though they can't afford it, like
Yeah.
like the idea of having, even like, I think my truck payment is like $1,200 a month or something.
God damn.
In my idea, I'm like, that's insane. Like I have more than enough money to afford it, right? But like that's still an insane amount of money. On this flip side, I'm trying to buy a Rolls Royce, so like that's one of my 3-year goals.
All right, before you take it easy.
I gotta get a house before the Rolls Royce.
Let's help Omar with your Rolls Royce.
No, pause. I'm looking at the camera real fast. Prediction: it is 2023, February. By February of probably 2026, I'll have my black badge Rolls Royce.
Do you know what I want?
Probably a raise. I don't know.
Oh, we've talked about that already. Don't worry. That's coming, folks. But no, I just want to be happy.
That's the gayest shit you've ever said.
I want to be happy. I want to give this girl the world.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I gotta give preface. Guys, I'm sorry. I grew up in West Texas. I know it's not appropriate to say that's the gayest shit you've ever said. I'm sorry. When I say that, it's like that's the lamest shit.
We have many gay friends.
Don't. That makes it worse. Don't go down that path.
We have gay men on staff.
Don't.
We're very close with them.
That's like when people are like, I'm not racist. My mom's cousin's dog owner's friend is black. And it's like, yeah, is that right?
Do you know what's like, it's kind of strange to be like white and a minority. It's a weird thing.
Are we going to do this?
We're going to do
this.
We're going to do this.
I just watched the other day with Kayla.
Because for those of you who can't tell, I'm Jamaican.
What's the new show that just came out on Netflix? I think it's is it This Is Us or You All? I think it's called You All.
You All?
And it's this Jewish dude. Is Jonah Hill Jewish, by the way?
Jonah Hill? Yeah.
Okay, so he plays a Jewish white dude in the show, and he has a podcast talking about like the culture. And they're like, what is the culture?
What the fuck does Jonah Hill know about Judaism?
So it's just a movie.
Yeah.
So in this deal, he's the Jewish dude who shows up to is a synagogue or like mass, whatever they call it.
Like synagogue, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so he shows up and he has like J's on. He's not wearing his what is it called?
Yarmulke.
He's not wearing that, and it's like a whole bunch of people, perfect black, like nice shoes, and him with like fucking loud, bright J's. So he's sitting there, and it goes further in, and he starts dating a black woman, and it's just
I've heard of this
funniest movie in the world.
Yeah.
And him trying to just prove he's not racist, and he's like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. He also grew up in like the nice part of LA. The girl he's dating was on a rough part of LA.
It's like a modern day West Side Story, but with Jonah Hill.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill crushed it in it though. I thought it was pretty good.
I can't stand him.
Why?
I don't like his face. I don't like his voice. I don't like his stupid hair. I don't like him.
There's somebody sitting watching here. I don't like Bruce's face.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
like
beat the shit out of half of you. That's fine.
Oh, Bruce.
Because we all know that I'm supreme over here.
Okay, that is true. You are the sorcerer supreme.
I am. I'll scratch your eyes out. I'll go to extreme lengths.
We'll go to
Let's help Omar. Omar needs help.
Yeah, so I think it's funny though, right? Like this idea of keeping your mental health so good you can't.
Well, repeat what he said. What did he say exactly?
He specifically said, hey, dude, how do you keep your mental health so good? I'm at a point where nothing makes me happy, but I look around, everybody seems to enjoy everything. I actually have something really practical for this.
Yeah, and if nothing makes you happy, we can assume that you're in a situation in life that it ain't it. So maybe, I don't know much about Mr. Omar, but maybe we can assume that maybe he doesn't like his job. Maybe he doesn't like what he's doing with his life.
To me, it feels like the first path to finding... I don't think you could be happy. I think happiness is a... what is it? A manic state almost.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like happiness is here. Unhappiness is here. The goal is just live in the middle. Or try to live in the middle and have swings either way, but not go all the way.
Yeah.
Because the swing back just to normal is so big. My mentality on this is I never want to be abnormally happy. In fact, I want to be at neutral or slightly less than neutral on a daily basis, which is kind of odd. But I view that as like the path to mastery. You're always going to be somewhat uneasy. Like I live in a state of uneasy. And that makes me happy. I love being in a state of uneasy because I know something I need to improve on, and that makes me happy. Knowing that I have something to improve on. For example, the call I had right before I came on here. Knowing that, man, I have something I need to improve on right now. Like, I need to fix the culture of a specific portion of Devslopes, right? I need to dive into it really heavily. So it's weird, right? Everybody wants to be happy. I think if you're at a lower level in life, choosing just to live at an uneasy state, accepting that, that's what opens you up. Because when you live at that uneasy state, you know, you go to the gym when you don't want to.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, fuck, I don't want to be here, dude. I went to the gym last night and I did arms with Kayla. And I did meal prep after that. I was fucking starving. I didn't want to do that downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs after this. I'm going to eat a stupid burger with some stupid zucchini with stupid ketchup. And
There's nothing wrong with zucchini. I don't know what it is with you Texans and vegetables.
Yeah, you know, I don't like eating veggies.
I've noticed.
Right? But the funny part is, by me living in that uneasy state, I do things I don't want to, but it makes me feel accomplished. It makes me feel good about myself.
Right.
And I think that for a lot of people, you know, I talk about this all the time. It seems like one of the reasons I have like decent confidence is because I had to learn how to self-validate myself at a really young age because of everything that happened to me, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody to talk to about anything. And so when you become your number one fan, it helps a lot. Last night I was actually talking to Kayla about, so there's something that happens when people are not doing something they want to do. But so for the past week and a half, I've definitely fallen off the ability to meal prep, the ability to work out. I traveled. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And typically what we do is, you know, I haven't been able to code. I haven't been able to work out. I just need to get started tomorrow. I just need to get back into it. It's weird because what we're saying is something in that moment to just try to make ourselves feel better. And we're saying it in a really downward inflecting way. Our inner self-talk is really nasty. Versus saying, I've dropped the ball for the past week and a half. I'm moving on. I'm going to get started tomorrow on doing this. Tomorrow I'm going to meal prep. Tomorrow I'm going to work out. Really don't want to. That's what I'm going to do. All right, today I have to go work out again. It's less than ideal because I worked out Wednesday. So we didn't work out Monday, right? Because we went to jiu-jitsu. Wednesday, I worked out, but I did my Monday workout. Yesterday I worked out. I wasn't supposed to, but I did it because Kayla wanted to do it. And then today I'm going to go do another workout that I'm supposed to do for my Friday workout. The downside of that is I have 3 days of working out squeezed back to back to back, and my body has had no chance to rest. I'm going to be absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And then come Sunday, right, when it's time for me to actually do some jiu-jitsu, I'm going to be raked over the coals. Like, I'm going to be so exhausted. But this is how I feel like we find success in life. We live in this uneasy state because we see ourselves moving forward. We accept to choose the survivor mentality of, I'm just going to let everything else go from the past, right? I'm going to forgive myself for the fact that, you know, the past couple weeks haven't been perfect, and that's okay. And then tomorrow I'm just going to go do some stuff to make myself feel good, right? The way I feel good is by making some forward actions. Like, that's how I self-validate. I do things that I think are self-love, which give me the ability to feel better about myself versus needing you to tell me I feel better versus needing something from other people.
Well, what about also kind of tying this back to Omar's question about mental health and everything? The idea of kind of like earned reward. So much more, it's so much more gratifying and so much more like, I don't know, that euphoric feeling is so much higher when you put yourself through a week of bullshit. Like, for example, when I just got my blue belt, the reason why that felt so incredible is like we're talking about almost 2 years straight of training multiple times a week. Sometimes when I first started, like 3 times a day, you know, just going and going and going. And then you get handed this little piece of fabric that costs them all of like $10 or whatever. But the feeling that you get from it, knowing that you earned it, you know, and it's kind of like if you have steak every single day, it doesn't become, you know, it's not special.
Absolutely.
But if you eat super clean, lots of veggies, you do things that are hard, I think a lot of people maybe neglect this aspect of mental health, that there has to be some kind of challenge that you're putting yourself through and then rewarding yourself for that challenge. And like, not only does that kind of, because what's the thing they say about training? You train on the days when you don't want to, you never regret it, you know, and that's so true. You know, every day when I've been at home and like 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get my knee braces, put on my gear and head over. But then after I do it and I went through that grueling 2 hours of either getting my ass kicked or doing pretty well regardless, I always feel great about the fact that I made that choice. And I think having like a disciplined structure to your life, I think like that's helped me tremendously, you know.
I was trying to find something to show y'all about something
But
interesting.
just like that idea is like so key to like feeling better about your day-to-day shit. It's like, think about like your partner, for example, you know, if you can't see her for an entire week and then you do, you know what I mean? It's like it feels so much better, and you got to occupy your time with things that lead to like those kind of either incremental improvements to where you're getting better at something and you're seeing the results. And that can be martial arts, that could be playing music, that could be maybe working on yourself, you know, like therapy and stuff like that. But adding a structure and then rewarding yourself for like a week of fucking putting yourself through the shit, I mean, that's one way to feel better about a lot.
You know, that is interesting. I think that's one thing I do incredibly well is like reward myself. I buy stuff for myself a lot.
You're telling me.
Some people may not do that as much. The way I do it with myself is clothes, like getting custom clothes or like new things along those lines. And in addition, it's funny because I had the promotion come up and I got my brown belt in jiu-jitsu and I was not expecting it. Right. But this really kind of tells people like where my mentality sits on it. Even when I got it, I was uneasy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the idea that I was being compared to the other people that had the brown belts. By the way, this is one of the downsides of if you live in an uneasy state and you're committed to a growth level of like true dedication to it, like what I have with jiu-jitsu, for example, it's kind of pretentious, right? Because like in my eyes, the reason why I was uneasy getting it, I didn't want to be compared to the people that were getting it as well. Like, not all brown belts are created the same. Like, I knew that I was better than almost all of them, probably all of them, to be honest. Even the black belts, right? But it's funny. Where does that come from?
Right, what is it?
Where it came from was relentless work on doing that. Man, I think that this is... Maybe it's not for everybody, to be honest. Like, I don't really know. I think that for someone who's unhappy, who's coming from like stage 0 and they're trying to get happier and they don't have the, you know, perfect family life and they don't have money. I think there's something so powerful about accepting suffering as a way of life.
And as a tool.
Yeah.
As a tool.
It is a way of life. It is what is happening and you're going to suffer. You're going to have to go through pain. It's not going to be fun. And even when you have success, most likely, because once you accept that as the tool that you use, you can't just put it down.
Yeah.
Like that hammer is going to be in your pocket for the rest of your life. But the benefit of that is when you come from, like, this is why almost everybody we know that's wildly successful came from either poverty or like Elon. Yeah, his family had a little bit of money, but dude, he had to go through a lot on his way coming up. You know what I mean? And if you accept the path of like uneasiness, of suffering as your moving point forward and just constant getting better, like I think chess is the perfect example to use for this. I get so embarrassed playing chess. Like I get so wildly just embarrassed and humiliated getting my ass beat in chess. And I'm just like, dude, this sucks. Like this is genuinely not fun whatsoever. But what's really cool about it is, again, it gives me something new to try out, to focus on. I was looking at chess coaches right before I started this. And I will just, I don't think there'll be another humbling experience as having a chess coach tell me, dude, you fucking suck. Like, you are not good at this. Why are you paying me for these lessons? Like, you should just give up all hope right now.
That'd be a unique thing for a paid coach to say.
He's pretty much actually told me that. No bullshit. No. Like, he's been like, dude, you're not that good, Nathan. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. Probably just punishment. I will tell you, I got something yesterday. So I signed up for a this company called Renaissance Periodization. I signed up for one of their elite physique coaches. So this dude, I'll tell you what his Instagram ad is. I'll show you what it looks like. Dude, looks absolutely yoked.
We love ourselves some yoked.
This is him. Samuel Okunola. Okunola.
Oh, like a Hawaiian sort of vibe?
No, I have no idea. I'm gonna guess no.
Oh yeah.
So he helps people actually go into like bodybuilding competitions, shit like that. My goal is to be absolutely yoked and to really lean down, because I feel like if part of this process, if my body is overweight, but all these other areas are in line, I feel like for me, I'm falling short of the values that I try to prize. I can't be overweight preaching everything I'm trying to preach.
No, because I think part of the thing that makes this so relatable to people is you're on your journeys relative to where you are, and a lot of people are on their journeys relative to where they are.
100%.
You know?
The same thing for snowboarding. Like even when I go snowboarding now, I can't even have fun because I'm just sitting there thinking about like how much better Peter is than me, and like
Fuck Peter.
Yeah, he's so good, dude. Though it's so
but
weird.
He was chasing lions and all kinds of weird shit. I don't understand you people in this snow stuff. I don't get it.
You people in the snow stuff.
Yeah, I'm being pressured into consider it. A lot of things I'm being talked into these days, and one of them is to finally get on the mountains and show people what I'm made of. And I'm like, that's great.
I don't know if it's worth it if you're 30 and you still haven't snowboarded or skied.
I mean, I used to skate.
Wait, does Abby ski?
She's interested in some of this stuff.
Has she
She
done
wants to do crazier shit, bro. She wants to go diving with great white sharks.
Fuck all that.
No. She wants to be like in a cage, and she tells me it's 100% safe.
Oh, I've done that.
You've done it?
Mm-hmm. Not with great whites. Your great whites weren't there, but it was the scary part was barracudas.
Really?
So barracudas, the reason why it's scary, so
They slip through the weird. They slip through the shit.
They can go straight through it. And the barracudas, they look scary and like they're massive. They're like this long or longer.
Dude, I would punch the shit out of it.
No, you wouldn't. It would fuck you up.
Really?
That bear caught it. That is gonna kill you. All right, let's play this game.
Oh, let's play a game.
What's the largest animal you can kill with your hands?
Me, physically,
And it wants
personally,
to kill you.
and it wants to kill me.
You're in a gladiator cage.
I
Gladiator
think
arena.
I could hit a mountain lion hard enough to make it second guess itself.
Oh my god. 1 second.
I've seen TikToks of dudes hitting mountain lions.
Oh my god.
You don't think I could take a mountain lion? Really? You really?
No.
Who are you calling?
Wait.
Is it Peter?
Yes, I'm called Peter.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you're on the podcast, so don't say anything crazy, okay?
Hi, Peter.
Bruce.
I want to be on the podcast on a phone.
No, pause. Bruce said he could kill a mountain lion with his bare hands.
Bruce is wrong.
How
Why?
am I wrong? I've seen TikToks of people punch them and they run away.
Okay, I double dare you.
We're not executing
You
this.
think he could get... What do you...
The difference is like mountain lions don't really want to fight, but in this case, the mountain lion does want to fight.
Oh, so we're talking about like a jacked mountain lion that's really
No, it's
pissed.
just a regular mountain lion. It's still gonna fucking crush you.
Well, Peter, what could you kill with your bare hands?
Skunk, raccoon.
Oh, see, he's being modest.
Stop. No, bighorn ram. That's the answer.
No, you know what I could take on, like, guaranteed? Guaranteed. It would have no chance. You ready for this?
Yeah.
A guinea pig.
A guinea pig.
Yeah,
All right.
I believe that.
I'm pretty sure I'd be able to kill a bighorn ram still, just so you know. But
Okay, so you can kill a ram, but the idea of me taking on, like, we're not saying that we're gonna get unscathed from this. I'm gonna get fucked up, but I think I would win in the end over the mountain lion.
that's insane.
You
What?
know, a mountain lion will like kill a deer and carry it up a tree in its mouth.
So why do they get fucking all scared when they get punched on hikes by people in Colorado?
Because they don't want to fight.
So if it doesn't want to fight and I'm the aggressor,
No, we're talking in a world that it does want to fight.
okay, so now we're just talking about the nature of this animal being completely different.
No, like we're talking like you're in a thing and you have to fight this animal.
Peter, don't you love that you work for a company where stupid shit like this takes up part of your day?
I was the one that started the stupid shit.
You know what Ethan said he could kill? A cow.
Ew. Ethan?
Ethan said he could kill a cow.
With what?
He said it would break its front, like one of its legs, and then he would just... I don't know.
Well, if you're talking about a docile animal, at least I'm
No.
willing to give it a go.
No,
I mean, I gotta.
I
Peter,
don't think Ethan could even hurt a cow.
He would probably try to hire it. Make
Yeah.
sales calls this
All
week.
right, I'll see you here just bid you.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Maybe I won't. But you know what? I would at least go down swinging against said mountain lion.
Okay, so this is what I would kill.
This is going to be our most entertaining episode. Charles, you teenager, you're going to leave in all this
I think
great...
he's 20.
Is he? Oof. You're going to leave in all this stuff about drugs and everything else. This is going to what's make us go viral.
I could kill this thing.
And me
Big
being
horn
over...
sheep, I could kill that.
It has no means of attacking you.
Huh?
All it can do is ram you, and you can just move out of the way and grab it.
I will get to its back. The problem is if it hits me when I jump on its back, I would start gouging its eyes.
How much money would you have to be paid to fight one of those bulls at the rodeo?
No, none.
None?
Never happens.
How much money would you have to be paid to just ride one of them, like in the rodeo?
None.
Oh, did you see that fucking video where one of them, there's like this big old lady and it sends her flying, like literally.
Dude, they're the best things in the entire world, to be honest. Like those videos, it just shows you the best things in the absolute world. But, all right, man. Besides that, this is probably one of the few deals to where we didn't have I didn't have a chance to journal this morning.
I like it like this. I think our fans will too. All three of them.
I have no idea.
You need to trust me. If there's one thing I know, it's content on the internet.
Is that right?
It is.
All right.
And I think we've covered like a lot of like really unique ground here. We now know like what animals we may or may not be able to take. We know that you like cowboy boots.
So I'm going to do a quick look. We're going to look at tech news today.
Fuck yeah. By the way, if my loving relationship lasts until that point, I do think I will be going to Australia with her to dive with all these things. Not knowing how to swim might come into play there, but we'll figure it out.
All right, there's nothing cool coming up right now. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. Nothing too wild for today's episode. We just talked about a bunch of random topics. What I do want to emphasize one final time, I think the theme that's coming out of this podcast is the mentality of being a survivor, choosing the mastery path. And I think that what I might do is actually crack open Mastery by Robert Greene and kind of go through it every now and then.
Yeah.
With everybody. But, man, that's it for today's episode. If you guys want to give us some tips on things y'all maybe want us to address, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram.
Know what we should do?
What should we do?
Q&A.
Yeah, if we get Q&A.
Q&A. Submit your questions about anything pertaining to either business, your mental health, lifestyle, job success, the type of things you're looking for.
For sure.
Or maybe you want to know, how many methadone addicts we feel like we could take in a brawl. Regardless. But you know what? One little final anecdote, tying back to what we talked about earlier about people wanting to be in situations that make them happy work-wise. There's a story that I remember. I forget who this was in particular. Might have been Elvis for all I fucking know. Well, probably not. But wanted to really work in music. So what he did was he went down to a place. He showed up there every single day. They kept telling him to leave. He wouldn't leave. He just kept showing up. Eventually gets a little bit of an internship. From that internship, about 6 months, they're paying him jack shit. They give him a chance to do something entry level. Maybe he's cleaning up around the studio.
Yep.
Next thing he knows, he's working around engineers, mixers, masterers. He starts learning the board. He starts learning how everything works. Then they give him another chance. Next thing you know, runs the entire label. So I think like a good thing to end on, because we did touch on this a little bit earlier, but it's just something to consider. There are ways to do what you love for a living and get into something that lines up with your passions and your interests.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 to 6 years.
Yeah,
realistically.
yeah.
But I think it's a beautiful idea. I think that that's the process. For context, next week we're going to have Peter and Ethan here.
Oh, that's gonna
so
be
today's
great.
the last episode. I think next episode we should have Peter on it, or Ethan, or potentially both. And then next week, I think Thursday, we're going to have one of our students on.
Oh,
which will be fun.
Who?
I think his name is Tyson.
Tyson
Judd.
Strong name.
Tyson. That is a strong name. So it'll be fun. All right, guys. Appreciate you so much for listening. That is the end of Sevedge session number 3-4. Not even sure.
Number 5.
Is that number 5?
I mean, if we don't count the first one you did without me.
So this is number 5?
It would be. Technically, it's 4.
Okay, so number 4 or 5, whichever one.
Number 4 or 5, whichever you want it to be.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Later.